Welcome to A Wealthy Life. My name's Vicki Wusche and I'm the host. The aim of this show is to help you pinpoint your values and create a plan to live your version of a truly wealthy life, doing more of what you want, more of what you love, with those that matter to you most. And that will take time, money, and control to create this life of your dreams. I've had times when I've had to track literally every penny, shouldering massive debt. And then, after being made redundant and a divorce, I decided I needed to create an independent source of income, something away from traditional employment. I began investing in 2004, and during the property crash of 2009-10, I bought on average 1 to 2 properties a month. After just 2 years of focused investment, I'd secured my financial future. By 2013, I'd been recognised by The Telegraph as one of the UK's top 25 most influential people in property. I've authored 5 books, and property investment has been my ticket to a life of financial security, fun, freedom, adventure, great holidays. It's a life guided by my values and not societal norms. So why not subscribe now and become inspired to create your own wealthy life? In this episode, I'm going to explain to you why sourcing as a business model for property investment is both exciting, fulfilling, and something that can very definitely fit your lifestyle. I'm going to just explain what I've been up to in this last week so that you can see how varied and hectic, controllable, and educational it can be, how it maximizes your knowledge, leverages your contacts and your time. It's something that is flexible. It's a business that you can manage how you use your time, unlike being a rent-to-rent, for example, strategy, where you are at the beck and call of the tenant. If the tenant has a problem, you have to respond to it. If the tenant leaves, you have to respond to it. Whereas for me, when I'm in the buying phase, I've planned it. I know that I have a period of time that I'm going to be busy, and I peak and trough that throughout the year. And when I'm busy, I'm quite busy, but I'm still able to control my time. I'm still able to have, that wonderful thing that everybody says that they want, a work-life balance. So let's get into the detail. I have had the most amazing 5 days. So let's just give you a sort of, maybe I'll do it chronologically, breakdown. Bear with me. There is an absolute reason for this, and I'm going to explain afterwards. So it started off on Thursday of last week. We drove 4 hours north, viewed 2 properties that evening, stayed over in a hotel. It was all a bit late. The meal was awful, all that sort of chaos that goes on when you're rushing. Friday, 10 viewings in a row. Friday afternoon, discussing the viewings with the letting agent, confirming the potential rentals, looking at the works that needed doing, confirming the budgets. Friday evening, an early dinner while simultaneously eating the most exceptional meal, trying to get offers in to the agents before they closed. I finally gave up, and I'm not going to do that again. That was a waste of time. Wait till Monday. Eventually, we drove back on Saturday, Sunday, the rest of the time off. Monday, it starts. I've already over the weekend just finished analysing the spreadsheet that I use. So offers in first thing Monday morning. The rest of Monday is this tennis match, if you like, with estate agents. I'm offering this, and then they're coming back and they're countering and they're saying no. Then I have a conversation about, well, if I was to offer more, what might I offer? And we play that sort of game there. And eventually we reach decisions on, yes, we can both agree on sale prices. So I think I had 4 or 5 by Friday afternoon where the prices were agreed. Now, I was never going to offer on all of them. Some of them, the estate agents are sneaky. They wasted my time. I went to view properties. One property, for example, on Thursday night, which really annoyed me. We rushed there. I viewed it at 8 o'clock at night, only to find when I was speaking with the actual owner of the property that they'd already accepted an offer at asking price, and I was never going to pay asking price, so I needn't have gone. But that's sort of the game that you end up playing with estate agents. And they're more often than not going to tell you that there's an offer on it until you've been to see it, because they want you there as backup. If they've got you interview it and something falls through, they've got you lined up. But my time's a bit too precious for those games. So then I start speaking to the clients. Now, I've only gone shopping, if you like, for properties because I know I've got clients that are interested in investing, that I've had lengthy conversations with them. We've talked through their financial strategies. We've talked through their finances. They're all prepared. They're either experienced or newbies, but they're ready to go. So I start working through my list and I ring the first one and I explain the deal. And I think pretty much all I managed to do was get through to one client on the Monday. So Monday, one property sold. Tuesday, two properties sold. Wednesday, one more property and a block of flats. But in amongst that time, I've not only been playing this game of tennis backwards and forwards with the estate agents, I've been speaking to my clients. As soon as a client is on board for a property, all the paperwork has to be done. I've already got in place the bare minimum that I know that I need to secure the deal. So I've got ID and proof of funds. All of that is sent off. Now we need to start on the bigger paperwork exercise, which is required by the broker in order to get a mortgage, if that's the case. So we're looking at bank statements and company statements and tax accounts and pay slips and IDs and where the proof of funds come and all of that shed load of information that is required for a broker to do their job, finding you the most appropriate loan. So that's all going on. I'm also notifying the estate agents and sending them the details so they can create the memorandums of sale. All of that is updated in the client files and we move on. Alongside this, I've still managed to fit in a gym appointment, a hospital appointment, and I've also given a talk to over 200, 220 women as part of a series of talks that I'm doing for Female Invest, a website that helps women understand their financials and financial investing and property investing a lot more. So we were talking about mindset on Tuesday night. What else have I done? So created relationships with all of these people, and then has been the long, thin deal of this auction property. So we've come across a block of 5 flats. It's in a 3-story semi-detached Victorian property. It's been on at auction. I've noticed it. I wasn't going to get overexcited because if it's sold at auction, I was never going to work under that degree of pressure because that's where you can make mistakes. It didn't sell at auction. Hoorah. So then I put in my first low offer, and I know I'm not going to get it because I've actually Googled the properties and I know how much the vendors paid. So I literally put in how much he paid. That was my starting offer. And I know I'm going to get a no on it, but it also tells me whether he's serious, whether he's desperate or not. And it also opens up that conversation with the estate agent. Now, I would say that that was the opening bid. It said opening bids at this level, and I knew what I was doing. So we progress, and I'm not going to get anywhere in a conversation until I've actually checked the legal pack and know that we have agreed the legal pack. So we fork out £600. We send off the legal pack for all 5 of these flats and we get them all approved. I then pass them over to the letting agent because the 5 flats are occupied and I want to make sure that the tenancies are appropriate tenancies that we can take over. So we go through all of that process. And then we come to the stage where we're doing more bidding. So last week and this week, I've been having the conversation, increasing my offer. And we've got to the stage where, okay, I know his price. Actually, I know what it is that he wants. I've spoken with my client. The deal actually works at that price. We've been and we've viewed the house. We've spoken with some of the tenants. I know the work that's required. The big issue with this is that it is 5 separate leasehold flats. There are only 5 in the building, but it doesn't come with the freehold. And this is going to make it very difficult to mortgage. And one of the things I want to check for my clients is that there is not so much an exit strategy, but an onward strategy once we've bought it. So you're going to buy it with cash because it's at auction and we're going to have to complete in 28 days, something to that effect. So cash is the only way forward. But at the end of this, we want to be able to remortgage. Now, typically you have to wait 6 months because of the rules by the Council of Mortgage Lenders. But because of my client type, they are expats, and because of the property type, as in it's all leasehold little units, we had to find a specialist broker who could handle this. We were really struggling, and it took 3 different brokers before I finally got one who is able to proceed on this. As soon as we have completed, as soon as it's registered with Land Registry, we can then move it on. And whether we decide to remortgage all of it or just mortgage some of it, we can decide that decision as we get down the line. So then the bids go in, the clients have to send the money, bang, effectively, that is like the hammer coming down in a live auction. And as if that's not enough, I've done all of this between approximately 10 in the morning. I'm not the best at early rising unless I have to go to the gym. And because my clients are currently in different countries, I'm having my 5 and 6 o'clock evening calls. So finishing between 6 and 7 in the evening. I've still managed to get my 20-foot brand new greenhouse that I'm also very excited about delivered. So we'll be able to have a massive tomato crop this year. And we've still got the rest of the week to go. So all of these deals are in the bag. All of these clients are working on the paperwork at their end, and I am liaising with them and making sure that estate agents and at this moment just brokers are lined up. As soon as we know who the lenders are, I'll then start working with the solicitors. I love this. I love the being busy. I love the variety of the day. I love the people that I speak to, from the clients through the brokers, through the estate agents, but also when you go and view properties, the tenants that I've met, sometimes the landlords or owners that I speak to. So there is so much reward in this job. Companionship, variety of people, networking, if you like, communication skills, negotiating skills, sales skills, marketing skills, admin, money, maths, of course, it's all about the maths, organization. And all of this is laid on top of, well, in my case, 20 years of knowledge in the property field, but laid on top of the knowledge of how to invest in property, what the laws are, what my area dictates, what the tenants dictate, how much refurbs are going to cost. And then still on top of that is the fact that I know for every single one of those deals, the 5 clients there, that I have literally changed their lives. This investment is going to provide for them that second stream of income, to provide them with more financial security, eventually financial resilience as that money starts to come in and cover their bills, and then moving on to creating an opportunity, a doorway, if you like, for them to walk through into the wealthy life of their choosing. What could be more rewarding than a job that ticks all of the things that you value in life: variety, freedom, control, maths, because I love maths, meeting people, all of that, and then knowing that on top of it, you're making a difference to people. It's so fulfilling. Now, why am I telling you this? Because this is very clearly one form of property business strategy. It is about using your time. It is a job. It's very much a business. Using your time in order to make money. So I could be employed. I could employ you to do this work with me in my business, and you would be an employee. I'm an employee of my own business. But unlike when you're an employee in someone else's business, I'm also my boss. So if I want to have a chat with myself and go, you know what, Vicky, it's that time of the year. You're not a fan of getting out of bed in the winter. Why don't you start at 10 and work till 5? Yeah, I'd like that. But you know what, boss? I'd still like a lunch break. Well, okay, you work quite hard. Well, I don't normally want to work hard. I really only want to work 3 days a week. So if we're not in a little buying frenzy moment because I've just been shopping, I don't really want to have to work for 5 days. I'd like to work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I'd like to start about 10 o'clock. I'd like to finish at 5, and I probably want a good hour and a half for lunch so I can go and make myself something nice, eat it, digest it, and then come back again. Is that all right? Yes, Vicky, that's absolutely fine. I have created the business I want. I know that I have a week or two like this of busy, 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 which is exciting, busy, hectic. but controllable because it's planned in my diary. And then I roll back into that normal phase where I know that I can manage everything in my 3 days a week. And I also know that what we've got planned, we've got a week off before Easter. And then no sooner do we come back from that and we're away in the Maldives for a month. My whole plan is making sure that when I know that I've got a holiday, that I can get all of this work done before I go away so that I don't really have to be online. I will, of course, check my emails when I'm away. If it's your own business, you love it, of course you're going to do that. But I won't be doing it every day of the week. And maybe I can't if I can't get internet connection out there, although I'm sure I can. So again, what is this business opportunity? It's an opportunity that you can learn. You can learn how to source. You can pick an area that suits you. You can learn about that area doing area research. So you've got area research, and then overlying the area, which could change, you've got a very specific learning how to source property on the top of it. Some people call it deal finding, but I don't. One of the brokers referred to me as a property concierge, in that I am working for my clients. I am fixing the problems. I am identifying the people that they need. I am booking the appointments. I'm making the connections. I'm working with them to go through all of the paperwork. Yes, it's their responsibility to read it all, but I also read it and highlight things in amongst all the tons and tons and tons of paperwork that they get, going, really, really pay attention to this. And if you don't understand it, ask me or ask the solicitor or ask the broker, because this is important. Because it's very easy, even though you say that you read all the paperwork, we all know that you skim over it, you nod off around page 14, 15, 16. So I make sure that all of the clients know the highlights that they're meant to be paying attention to. I rename the files. This must be read. This must be signed. This must be checked. And then highlight the bits and put comments on there for them. So I'm helping my clients in the sense, somewhere between a property concierge and somewhere between a property project manager. It's making their lives easier. It's doing something that I have the knowledge, the skills, and the time to do. But it's also creating a lifestyle for me, because I earn from this business, but I can manage my time. And that's the key thing, isn't it? Everything about property investing is supposed to be where you're leveraging something, preferably your money as well, but also your time, so that you can create the life you want. If you're not doing that in your property business, sort of what are you doing it for? And that's really always my question about rent to rent. It's a great strategy if you're very young, if you don't have a partner, if you don't have kids, and you have the energy to do it. Or at the other end, maybe you're now a single parent of a grown-up kid and you're in a position where you have the time to do that. And if you listen to one of the podcasts that I've done with Stephanie Taylor is an expert at rent to rent, but she came to it later in her life when her child had grown up, when she had more time. She didn't have a job, and she worked in how she was going to use her skills at being systemized to the rent to rent strategy, and then found a way that she could control it and keep her life there. A lot of people do this strategy and it takes over. You become a 24/7, 365 days of the year letting agent at the beck and call of the tenants, following their demands. So it's about, how can you turn what you love doing, how can you turn this business opportunity into something that you can work in tandem with, that you can work alongside, so that you can still have the life you want. And the little bits of stress that you get, we spoke a lot about challenges, which is quite funny. The challenges that you get, add a little bit of juice, because if everything was the same, so for example, when you go out in the morning and you start your car, you put the key in the ignition or you press the button and the car starts, and you don't really think about it. It's routine. Go out, start the car, off you go. Go out, start the car, off you go. Then there's that one day when you want to go somewhere and you have to go there, and you go out and you go to press the car. For whatever reason, the car doesn't turn over. Maybe you left the lights on and the battery drained. And that moment of frisson, that sort of excitement, that little bit of stress, adds a bit more life to your life. Yes, it's stressful. Yes, you've got to work out how to solve the problem. Do you fix the car? Do you get a taxi? How do you do what you've got to do? Do you cancel it? But you've got that little bit of excitement and you learn. You learn what you did wrong and why the car didn't go. You learn that when the car doesn't go, there are other alternatives. Oh, look, there's a local bus I could get, or there's a taxi in the village that I could take, whatever it is. You learn how to solve the problem. You acquire a knowledge. The issue is that sometimes that sort of uncertainty in things and that sort of frisson that you get, that danger, if you like, can actually become addictive. And I think I did a little TikTok video, which was relating it, for example, to posting on social media. You post on social media, you never know when you get a like. I do a podcast like this. I don't know if any of you are listening. I do hope that you are. And if you are, here's a plea. Please leave a comment. Please leave me a review. Please share. Please follow, because then it just lets me know that someone's out there. But also, it helps signal to other people. Enough of that little advert. Come back here to social media. But if you post on social media, is your social media going to be liked by other people? It's sort of also feeding the ego with social media. But there's that moment when you put that post out where you don't know the impact that's going to have. And it's a little bit exciting. And then if you do get likes, you do it again. And then you get more likes and you do it again. And before you know it, you are endlessly scrolling. And the apps and the social media and the spiders and everybody in there are very clever at then feeding you with more of what they think that you like, more of that level of excitement. But you could take all of that energy, all of that time, just flickety, flickety, flicketying on your phone and put that into property. You could put it into flicking through Rightmove, looking at houses. Actually, it's quite fun. It's like being a permissible voyeurism, even if you just do it on Rightmove. Never mind when you get to go and view the houses. You find an area that you're interested in, you pick the houses, you've run the numbers, you know what works, and then you just scroll through. Oh, look, another house has come up. Number one, the street. And you get to look through the photos. And if you're good, you get to spot where the damp is, spot where the repairs are, look at the state of people's kitchens and bathrooms, endlessly be amazed at how people who have got an estate agent coming round to take photographs haven't shut the drawer on a cupboard, or haven't made the bed. The number of houses I see where they don't make the beds. And this isn't just rental properties. This is sometimes people's properties. And you sort of half wonder, didn't the photographer say something? So it's really, really interesting to actually see what you can spot the errors. But it's a form of voyeurism, and it's quite interesting. And then you learn more, and then you view the properties for real, and you compare the photos and you compare the real life, and you learn and you become more expert at seeing through the wide angle pictures that they put on Rightmove. You start to become an expert in your property type. You start to become an expert in your area. I don't really like the word expert, but professional at looking at the photos, at looking at the properties, at identifying the problems, at calculating the costs, at knowing the area, knowing what street's a good street, what postcode's a good postcode. You understand the maths, and then you're able to put all of this together, package it, either for yourself to buy. I still buy for myself. We're buying at the moment, or buying for clients. And when you buy for clients, what you're doing is helping them to access the knowledge, the skills, the financial future that you're creating for yourself. You're helping them do the same. And they will take that financial future and shape it into their own. They're not going to follow you. Not all of my people love tomatoes. That's absolutely fine. They may love something else. And by getting that financial freedom, they can create that life. What I'm doing at the moment is I'm working with a group of women that have come through those webinars that I've been doing and helping them take my course, which is called How to Become a Successful Property Investor. And the reason I called it that is because it is a course about sourcing, but it's the foundation to everything. Whether you want to buy a property to let, a house, whether you want to buy it as an HMO, whether you want to even rent to rent, whether you want to do serviced accommodation, development, anything, it all starts with sourcing, understanding the property type, understanding the numbers, understanding the geographical area, understanding the overarching legal complexities that you have to deal with, the law that you have to follow, the rules that you have to follow, the people that you have to know. All of that is really the skill of sourcing property. So if you learn how to source property, you can do it for yourself. You can be more informed when you get someone else to do it for you, if that's what you choose. Or maybe you can turn it into a business for yourself. I'm also giving a talk in April, I think it is April 15th, 16th, something like that. And I'll put a link in the show notes. And that is very much about how you can make £40,000 in 40 days. And that's effectively what I did last summer. I did another one of those buying frenzies. I got clients lined up. I found the properties. I matched them together. I saw them through the process, but I secured £40,000 in 40 days. And that's because by understanding sourcing, you never have to leave an opportunity on the table. If you are buying for yourself, for example, there'll be times when your money's tied up, your time is tied up, and you might find a great deal, but you can't follow through on it. But you could, if you're helping other people, help someone else to buy it so that they benefit and you get paid a fee in return. Sourcing for me is better than joint ventures. There's no getting entangled in. I'm not involved in any of my clients' bank accounts. They all have their own companies. We're not in special purpose vehicles together. I'm not a co-director with anything. I am paid a fee for the time, the service, the knowledge, the expertise that I bring. And that's perfectly fine. And when fitted in the deal, it still makes a great return on investment. My clients, depending on whether it's one or two partners or whatever, are the full owners, along with the bank, of course, if they've used a loan, in that property. They benefit from all of the cash flow. There's none of this, I work for free for months and months and months in the hope that we'll get a deal to the point where it's let, and then I get half the rent with you, but we're also in a limited company together. And if I do anything wrong in any of my other companies, that would affect you. And if you do anything wrong in your companies, that's going to affect my credit rating, my future, my business. It's a much cleaner process. This is what I'm going to do for you. Is that what you want? Yes, it is. This is how much it will cost. Is that fine with you? Yes, it is. Right, I can work for you. I can bring these skills, these connections, this knowledge and experience to the table. And that is essentially what every business does. If you're a doctor, if you're a dentist, if you're a taxi driver in London, if you're a taxi driver, then you're paying for the use of your vehicle and your ability to get from one location to another location. Well, we trust as quickly as possible. Sometimes it does look like you're taken around the houses. I digress, of course. What I wanted to do with you, this podcast with you, was to turn around and show you what the most hectic week of my life looks like. And like I say, it's Thursday tomorrow, and then it's Friday, and then we've got the weekend, and I've got plants to plant and the cinema to go to and friends to see and a community project in the village that I'm getting involved in, or that I've been involved in for years, that we're picking up off the ground, we're picking the pace. All of that is still ahead of me, but I've done the bulk of the work over this previous week period, if you like. It's been longer hours than usual. It's been every day of the week, except for the weekend, as usual. But the reward has hit so many lives. Yes, it's making a difference to me and my family, but it's also made the difference to 5 other families. And one of those families is a complicated family. So I would say 8 people, if I don't count the children that are involved, if I don't count the husbands that are involved. There are 8 people involved in those deals, 8 people's lives that are moving one step forward to what it is that they want. And that's the early conversation I have with them. So I know those details. I'm just, if you don't mind, not sharing those details with you because they're the private details of my clients. But I know what it is that my clients want to achieve. Wrapped up, it's more financial security. It is about a second income so that they have the confidence, the security, and the extra money that they want in their lives so that they can live it a way that they want. What are you doing? Where are you getting your fulfillment? What are you doing about property investing? What are you doing about your own wealthy life? What are you doing about making a difference to other people? Are you stressed at work? Is there a different way that you could work? If you are in property, what technique are you using? Are you maximizing your knowledge? Are you missing things out? Are you leaving things on the table? If you are interested in property and you're not working with me, is the person you're working with educating you so that you understand what you're in? And if not, get in touch and I'll help. Above all, if you are thinking about investing in property, but maybe you don't have all the cash right now, it could be coming from a sale shortly, or it might be part of a sale or future plans way off down, the path, maybe a year or two away. Is this the right opportunity for you to be learning about property investment so that you can be more informed, so that it can form part of your future by knowing either that you can do it yourself, buy properties for yourself, or decide that you want to get someone else to do it for you, or maybe you could create a business opportunity out of this yourself? Is sourcing your way to getting into property, to know the area, to work with someone like me to help you learn the processes, to work with clients, to make a difference to their lives, and then to save up those fees that you make, that additional income that you make on the side, to the point where you have enough that you can put that back in to another property for yourself, maybe buy your first property for yourself. So I think overall what I want to do is just speak to you about sourcing as a strategy, not deal making, because deal making is, I feel, more about just selling the house on to someone. It's not necessarily about making a difference to someone's life. I mean, I guess everybody does it differently, and I'm going to feel that the way I've done it is the best way, don't we all? But I want to make sure that when I work with a client, I work right the way through. I know what their plans are. I know what the goals are. I know where I can step in and add value. And I make sure that for months and years afterwards that I'm working with that client so that that property is actually a cash flowing business for them. I'm always on hand for them. And I'm very fortunate to be in that position. But it is something that you can do. I don't know if you've read my book, Make More Money from Property. That's very much what that book is about. It's about understanding that you need to shift from just investor thinking to a business mindset. Property is a business, and I have been talking about that probably since about 2012. So what I wanted to do in this video is obviously put a bit more whoosh in your life to inspire you to think about property in a different way, to inspire you about how you can shape your life, run your business, create your own personal financial security and wealth, to inspire you that there are opportunities in property, even if you don't have enough cash of your own right now to start investing. But above all, to give you that impetus, to give you that sense that you could, if you wanted to, do much more than you're doing now. And the benefits are manyfold. They are exponential. Can the benefits be exponential? I suppose if they increase over time. Yes, they are exponential because they do increase over time, but they are many, many more times the effort that you put in. You put in really what is quite a little bit of effort, and on top of that, you will get back satisfaction, financial reward, the knowledge that you're helping others, financial security, the lifestyle that you want to live, all because you step forward, just one step forward to go, do you know what? I do want to see whether property investing is for me. This is what I'm going to do about it. We'll put links in the show notes so that you can get in touch. You know my email, you know how to get hold of me. Get in touch if you think that this is something you want to do, but you'd like to talk through the process, through the course, or through your ideas with me. Book a call. You know how to book a call. You simply go to bit.ly, one of those shortened websites, bit.ly/book-Vicki. So capital B for book dash capital V for Vicki, and that takes you through to my calendar, and you can book a call. Say that you listen to this podcast and you'd like to talk about property sourcing. Either you want my help to do it for you, or you want my help to get you that moment where you got the clarity to go, yes, I do want to invest in property for myself, or yes, I do want to turn this into a property sourcing business for myself. I hope that I've inspired you. You know, there's a whole series of podcasts at the moment that are all around property, various techniques, the professionalism of investing in property. So immerse yourself in all of this. Get in touch. Let me help if I can, because it won't be long before we're back talking about mindset again. I wish you all the best. I hope that I have been able to inspire you, that I have added that whoosh to your life, and I'll speak to you again next week. Thank you very much. My name is Vicki Wusche. My mission is to help people like you understand what a wealthy life truly entails. Together, we'll identify your ideal lifestyle, leverage your resources to generate the necessary income through property investment, whether by teaching you how or by managing the process on your behalf. Let's inject some momentum into your wealthy life plans as you subscribe now to capture every episode of the podcast, and then get in touch via my website, book a call. All of the details are in the show notes.